Okay, today we're going to read John chapter 13, beginning with verse 1. Now, before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come, that he should depart from this world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. And supper being ended, the devil having already put it into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was going to God, rose from the supper and laid aside his garments, and took a towel and girded himself. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel with which he had girded. Then he came to Simon Peter, and Peter said to him, Lord, are you washing my feet? Jesus answered and said to him, What I am doing you do not understand now, but you will know after this. Peter said to him, You shall never wash my feet. Jesus answered him, If I do not wash you, you have no part with me. Simon Peter said to him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. Jesus said to him, He who is bathed needs only to wash his feet, but is completely clean, and you are clean, but not all of you. For he knew who would betray him. Therefore he said, You are not all clean. So when Jesus had washed their feet, taken his garments, and sat down again, he said to them, Do you know what I have done to you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you say, Well, for so I am. If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example, that you should do as I have done to you. Most assuredly I say to you, a servant is not greater than his master, nor is he who sent is greater than he who sent him. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them. I do not speak concerning all of you. I know whom I have chosen, but that the scripture may be fulfilled, he who eats bread with me has lifted up his heel against me. Now I tell you before it comes, that when it does come to pass, you may believe that I am he. Most assuredly I say to you, he who receives whomever I send receives me, and he who receives me receives him who sent me. When Jesus had said these things, he was troubled in spirit, and testified and said, Most assuredly I say to you, one of you will betray me. Then his disciples looked at one another, perplexed about whom he spoke. Now there was leaning on Jesus' bosom one of his disciples whom Jesus loved. Simon Peter therefore motioned to him and asked who it was of whom he spoke. Then leaning back on Jesus' breast, he said to him, Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, It is he to whom I shall give a piece of bread when I have dipped it. And having dipped the bread, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. Now after the piece of bread, Satan entered him. Then Jesus said to him, What you do quickly. But no one at the table knew for what reason he said this to him. For some thought, because of Judas had the money box, that Jesus had said to him, Buy those things we need for the feast, or that he should give something to the poor. Having received a piece of bread, he then went out immediately, and it was night. So when he had gone out, Jesus said, Now the Son of Man is glorified, and God has glorified in him. If God is glorified in him, God will also glorify him in himself, and glorify him immediately. Little children, I will be with you a little while longer. You will seek me, and as I said to the Jews, where I am, Where I am going, you cannot come. So now I say to you, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this, all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Simon Peter said to him, Lord, where are you going? Jesus said, Where I am going, you cannot follow me now, but you shall follow me afterward. Peter said to him, Lord, why can I not follow you now? I will lay down my life for your sake. Jesus answered him, Will you lay down your life for my sake? Most assuredly, I say to you, the rooster shall not crow till you have denied me 3 times. Okay, we've read chapter 13, and as you can tell, my voice is about shot for the day. It gets real weak. As time goes on during the day, I can barely talk and and barely breathe. Actually, just my body's just wearing out. But anyway, we've finished chapter 13, and we'll do 14 next. And it may be toward the weekend before we do another one, or I could do one tomorrow. You never know. Um, I'll read some tomorrow, but I never know if I'm going to record or not. But I hope you follow along on John. I notice I got 3 or 4 uh, viewers, views of my channel, and that's more than one, and that's more than none. And I'm glad there's 3 or 4 people that will listen a little while anyway. But we should have the book of John finished maybe another week. I'll read a chapter each time, and yeah, I realize it's taking me a while, but well, like I said, my voice gets gone. This time of day, it's 6 o'clock in the evening, and I can barely talk. Well, anyway, thank you for joining, and I hope you like my intro music. And when I cut off here, I want you to look at the pictures. I got a few pictures, and I'll finish that intro music. Some of y'all have seen it on Facebook already. I'm sure the ones who watch my videos uh, see my Facebook and have already seen this, but that's what I create them for, to do intros to my videos, and I enjoy doing them. And I create my own music. I have got a few that's like uh, the Jacksons. I got one of theirs, and I've got a few that they're in public domain now, and they have a copyright, but they allow people on YouTube to use them, especially if they're not making money. I'm not making money on any of them. If I did, it would go to them because it's theirs. But I create my own with a program called Acid Pro. Of course, a lot of y'all know me. Then we was raised up in music, and I, if you ask me what's the chord progression of that song, I could not tell you. I just I know the tune in my head. I can put it down, but I can't change from one chord to the next. When somebody says, "All right, go to," uh, one of them fancy chords, A major 5, 3 and whatever. I don't do that, but I can drum a little. I can strum a guitar a little, and I got a keyboard a synthesizer that I use, and I can do the bass on it. It doesn't sound like a string bass, but it gets the bass tone. But I enjoy doing those intros and small clips. And me and Emma has worked on a song, and we do have a couple of complete songs that we just hadn't finished yet. Took the time to finish. I'm not going to put them out there again. Y'all got if you go through my YouTube channel, you can find it, but one or two. But I'm not going to really put them out there until they're completed. And as soon as I can get the girls together to do harmonies on them, as you can tell, I can't sing, but the girls they can, and I'm trying to work it out where they can come and do the harmonies, and then we'll publish it and put it out there, and we'll be proud of it. Well, anyway, thank you for listening, and we'll do John chapter 14 next.